Here are 3 things I absolutely hate about trans people. Let's get into it. Now, this first one doesn't really apply to all of them, but it does apply to most of them. The first thing I absolutely hate about trans people is that they feel as though they were born in the wrong body. And to be honest, I can't really relate to that, but I don't know how I would feel if, like, right now I was just switched into a female body. I think I would also feel like I was in the wrong body. So I really do hate that for them and that they have to go through that. Like, I kind of just wish that every trans person was just born in the right body, so they wouldn't have to go through that. I really just hate that for them. I would hate if that was going on with me. On to number 2. The second thing that I hate about trans people is that people think that they're gay. Now, I'm not saying if you're trans, you can't be gay. What I'm saying is just because you're trans doesn't mean you're gay. Now, I understand where you're coming from. The idea of, like, dressing up like a girl sounds gay. You have to also consider that they're not just dressing up like a girl, that they actually are a girl, mentally speaking. So it wouldn't make sense for that to actually be gay. You might be thinking, Joe, if they're not gay, why are they part of the LGBT community? And my answer for that is, I really can't give you a good reason. Maybe it's because people just assumed that they were gay and they were just kind of grouped into that. But to be fair, I didn't understand how it worked either. Apparently, you're not necessarily straight if you are attracted to a trans man, even though they have female genitalia biologically. I personally would consider doing that. So technically, I wouldn't be considered straight, but I also wouldn't get with somebody with male biological genitalia. So I would just consider myself somebody who likes female biological genitalia. But right now I'm in a relationship, so my sexual orientation is my girlfriend, and I don't want to have to end up sleeping on the couch again. It especially gets a little bit frustrating when you're trying to have an open conversation with somebody who doesn't really have much tolerance for trans people, and then they go ahead and say, well, other gay people do this, and you're like, well, trans people aren't gay people, and they're like, well, they're basically in the same category. And it gets real frustrating because you're trying to have an open-minded conversation about something this person has no idea about and is being really intolerant for. So I kind of hate that about trans people too. Now, the third and final thing I absolutely hate about trans people is that they're always being purposefully misgendered. Now, I'm not talking about a genuine mistake or a few genuine mistakes. I'm talking about going out of your way to purposefully misgender a trans person in order to belittle them. Stop acting like misgendering is exclusive to trans people. Because I could tell you any masculine, manly man would be just as, if not even more offended, if you were at a bar and you purposefully called them a girl. These are fighting words, so don't act like you aren't offended by it either. Purposefully misgendering somebody is fighting words in any other situation, but you feel as though you can get over on trans people because you see them as weak. I know for a fact if you're the type of person who purposefully misgenders trans people to belittle them, that you would think 5 times before even trying to attempt to do that to me. And I'm not saying you have to respect people's pronouns or even accept them for who they are. Don't interact with them if you don't accept them for who they are. If you don't like that they're using those pronouns, then don't engage with that person if you don't like them or accept them. But you don't have to go out and belittle them and bully them and call them delusional. That's messed up. You wouldn't like it if someone called you delusional. If you want to use your religion, such as Christianity or Judaism, all of those have Genesis in them. Let me ruin your religion for you. It says Adam was created. How was Eve created? Eve was created through Adam's rib. God took Adam's rib and created a woman out of it. God took a man, chopped a body part off of him, and created a woman. The first woman was a trans woman. Yeah. In fact, biblically speaking, all women are trans women. Anyway, y'all stay safe. I hope you enjoyed this video.